Howdy, guys, gals, and non binary pals. This is the Tales from the Waystone summer reading program.
We are your hosts, Will and Phoenix. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the fifth installment of our series on John Scalzi's starter villain, and you'll know him by the trail of smoldering hotel rooms in his wake, where we'll be reading chapters 17 through 20.
So, heads up, guys, gals, non binary pals, all y'all. This is the last one that we're recording in August before I have my surgery. And we will be coming back to it in October, shortly after you hear this, actually. But apologies in advance if next time we're like, we don't remember anything. We don't know what we talked about. We're going to repeat ourselves, or we're not. But it's how things shook out. I might have brain fog by then. Who knows?
We'll figure it out in the moment.
Yeah, in a couple months. This will be interesting. Also, it might be edited poorly. Who knows? Anyway, just to give you the little spiel again, short explanation of the pod. Each week we'll be examining a section of starter villain and figuring out what we can take from the text to apply to our real lives. We'll also take some time to focus on something we have learned this week, and then we will share a recommended thing of the week. Probably before that, we will have said something like a notable quotable from the book that made us smile or think or laugh. Before we begin, let's get some disclaimers out of the way. First of all, we are in no way affiliated with John Scalzi or his publisher, Tower Books. I don't care if I slurred all of that. Second of all, our discussions naturally assume that you have read through the end of chapter 20 of Starter Villain, and if you haven't, please just go read the rest of the book. The book is fantastic. Also, I didn't stop at the end of chapter 20 when I was listening today. I just kept going because the book is that good. Just read the book. Read the
It's
book.
quick.
It is a quick read. It's just read the book and then read Kaiju Preservation Society. That's my do that. Alrighty. Where was I? Oh yeah. Okay, now that you have read it, come back. Did you read it? If you didn't read it, I assume you don't care about spoilers. Anyway, a word to our community. Please be kind to yourselves, one another, and the creators of the worlds that we love exploring.
All right. So we kick off chapter 17 with our first face to face meeting with the full convocation.
Okay, so we actually kick it off with a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the fanciful, modernist, whimsical thing that Charlie was hoping for.
Right. I mean, film and TV have apparently trained us all to believe that the evildoers are sitting around in a conference room with a whole bunch of spotlights and no regular lights, which seems hellish.
Yeah. Also, not in keeping with the aesthetic of this old school Italian boutique hotel.
Right. So none of that is what Charlie walks into. What Charlie walks into is the executive lounge on the top floor of the Grand Bellagio. And it is a room that probably did host emperors, presidents, popes, blah, 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 blah. And it is fancy, and everyone's sitting around with a cat on their lap, or attempting to.
Dobrev's cat is unusually unruly.
Dobrev's cat is clearly not a spy.
Right. That's what I took from it. I think he probably suspects what's up with Jake's cats.
I assume that as well, or was flat out told. You don't know if Dobrev actually was friends with Jake or not, because this leaves everything up in the air. The fact that Charlie even trusts Morrison, and especially Tobias, but trusts Morrison and literally anyone else on his island, his uncle's island, not his island. It's amazing to me because at this point, I think I would be suspecting everyone. And I mean, including the people who seem to have his back.
Yeah, he's got some serious Stockholm syndrome if we're looking at it objectively.
I mean, he was whisked away by this mysterious woman.
Kidnapped.
I mean, yes. Who, thank goodness for John Scalzi's writing, because in lesser books, it would be a femme fatale situation where Morrison was either trying to seduce or just flat out love interest for Charlie, and that would be a disservice to this book. But after reading this section, I don't trust her. I know I've read the entire book, but at this point, I wouldn't trust her. Or anyone else who was employed on the island.
Yeah, I think what's kind of funny is Charlie has more trust issues with his cat than he does with Matilda.
Right, he doesn't know if his cat likes him or not,
Right.
but he really likes his cat.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
I think he's just worried. I think it's not so much a trust issue as it is rejection sensitivity and or imposter syndrome.
That's definitely true. And I think while he doesn't necessarily trust Morrison,
No, I think he does.
I think he does, but I think it's with the very clear eyed understanding that she will only ever work in his interests so long as it is in her interests. And as near as he can tell, those interests do seem to line up.
The thing is, so I know what happens at the end of the book, and I don't know that I'll remember to talk about it, but there's an event that precedes it. We'll get to it at the end of the section that I think means that Morrison may have benevolently double crossed Charlie.
I think that pretty much everybody there is playing a different game from the one that Charlie thinks he's playing or has been led to believe that he is playing.
Even though he winds up actually doing a really good job of not getting screwed over.
Yep.
Except I think he still got screwed over. But in a way that actually means that his life ends up in a way that he's happy with. In a way that he won't have to deal with this constant revolving door of who's screwing who, and not in the fun way.
Yeah, we'll get to this.
Yes.
So I think this is where we actually get to see that for all of Charlie's cluelessness about this world, his
Bullshit.
detector still works pretty good. The convocation starts out by trying to give him the hard sell.
Why should you be part of the convocation? Acting like they want him as part of their cabal.
Yeah. And giving us this is why it'll benefit you. This is why what we offer is something that you want.
We're going to act like used car salesmen and try to convince you to do things because what's in our best interest looks like it might be in your best interest, except it's really not. And we absolutely know that.
The other thing that we pretty quickly get the rundown on is that as impressive as all of these people seem in the moment, they're also kind of pathetic. They're all basically Nepo babies of fated titans. Like there is the guy whose mining interest has basically tapped out all of the veins in the areas they control. There is the shipping magnate who has since fallen behind the competition. There's, the American steel magnate whose family used to hobnob with the Rockefellers and the Carnegies and has since kind of faded into irrelevance. Like these are people who have a lot of generational wealth, certainly, but they do not command the same level of power as other people in their respective spheres do. They've all lost a lot, and almost all of these seem to be self inflicted wounds. Like, it is not like, and then suddenly we ran out of ore to mine. It is, no, we failed to diversify our holdings or look elsewhere or mine more sustainably, or we tried to sell people on this magical steel alloy that was supposed to be stronger and lighter, and it is until it gets really cold and then it's incredibly brittle. Like these are people who have made errors and lost a lot.
Like everything seems like a self own.
Yeah.
But also, the Nepo babies have bled their companies dry.
Well, I mean, because these are not people who have been working to build the thing from the ground up. Somebody else did all of that and then handed them the keys.
And the bank accounts.
Most importantly, the bank accounts. And these are people who have no idea about actual consequences for things. Like, even when they're, quote, broke, they still have more buying power than literally almost anybody else in the world. They're never going to have to worry about where their next meal comes from. They're never going to have to worry about having a roof over their head or anything like that. They can go wherever they please.
Generally speaking, they probably have at least 10 places they could go to live.
Not even counting the super yachts.
Correct.
But The fact is, they're basically paper tigers. They look really impressive until you actually look at their balance sheets. And yeah, they've got a lot in the bank, but it's going down pretty fast, and most of it is leveraged debt. And most of it is to one person, Dobrev.
Now, we've got the good cop in Thomas Harden, who is an American. He's still a Nepo baby. He's still like not really earned any of his money because that came from his family. And he's trying to lay out this logical reason why, oh, yeah, we'll help you. You'll help us. Everything will be great. We think that you're an idiot. And then we've got, after Charlie is not having it, we've got Roberto Gratas, who turns on the bad cop and essentially gives Charlie the choice of either joining them and paying what, like $40 billion in an initiation fee, plus 5% of his earnings every year to continue being in the convocation. Or if he doesn't join, giving them like $100 billion and removing his interests in anything that would compete with the rest of the convocation's interests. And this is where Charlie gets to do the thing that we all wish we could do, which is school the people who are trying to pull one over on us.
Right. Like I say, the
Bullshit
detector still works. Yeah. So he pretty quickly realizes that, they're pushing him to make a decision here by the end of the week.
And Morrison specifically said, don't do that.
He also recognizes that he's got the ability to make some choices here. And the choices that they're putting before him are not choices that he has to accept.
Right. There are other ways. And he does choose a different way. And he's just like, so y'all are broke and you need at least $40 billion.
And you need it now because that means that your bills are coming due probably by the end of this convocation.
And so he gets to pull out all of the I'm smarter than you, and I can pick up on all of this stuff that you're trying to make me do and how you're trying to make me feel like I'm on the spot. And then you've got Dobrev over here trying to make it seem like I can trust him. None of this. I'm having none of this. And that just goes to enrage the rest of the group. And Dobrev's like, you know what? We underestimated him. The rest of you shoo. Go away. But wait. We have other things. No, go away. And then Dobrev invites, requests, probably requires Charlie's attendance in his suite in like 20 minutes. Don't bring the cat. Oh, I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't want to go through too many of the details, but the one detail in Dobrev's suite that I want to talk about is the Fibonacci sequence piano.
Yeah, that's a lot of labor to make something like that.
Exactly. Worth more probably than the pub that Charlie wants to purchase.
Yeah.
And the fact is that Dobrev asked Charlie to make him a drink. And then, even though all the ingredients are like top tier, like top shelf ingredients, and Charlie probably does a fine job of making an old fashioned, Dobrev just is like, he almost sets the drink on the piano, which horrifies me as a person who is in a room surrounded by instruments that I personally take care of. And going, no, I know it's all fictional. Don't do that.
I mean, the funny thing is that a piano like that is as much furniture as it is musical instrument.
Oh, it probably is more furniture than it is musical instrument.
Yeah, you definitely at least want to make sure you've got a good coaster.
Yeah.
But it turns out that Charlie's attempt at an old fashioned isn't so great. I'm guessing he probably got the ratios a little bit wrong.
Yeah, he's not a bartender.
No. The thing about Dobrev that gets me is he is disarming. He is charming, and he is absolutely untrustworthy.
Oh, most definitely.
Like, you get the sense that it's fun hanging out with him. Like, he's jovial, he's fun. He doesn't take himself too seriously.
He's absolutely lethal.
Right. The thing to remember is that he is the one member of the convocation that isn't broke.
And he almost certainly is the instigator for what happens right after this.
Yes. Dobrev has more to gain in any of this than any of the other members of the convocation.
In fact, in his nice, patronly way, he just lets Charlie know that, oh, in fact, actually, Uncle Jake was a member of the convocation. Oh, in fact, actually, Uncle Jake is keeping some of the convocation's belongings on his island, just secured away in a vault. And it's antiquities from World War II, which
Mm-hmm.
were left behind. Nazis. Anyway, not subtext. Yeah, actual text.
Yep.
And then Charlie, because he thinks he's outsmarting Dobrev, because we don't know that he is. In fact, I'm pretty sure he is not. It's like, okay, I'll agree to help you out if you can explain to me exactly what it was that made Uncle Jake leave the convocation. And Dobrev goes into, your uncle didn't want anyone to mess with his family. And then your mother, and then all hell breaks loose, as in rockets hit the hotel.
Seriously, the quickest way for a hotel to blow up is for Charlie Fitzer to check in.
For a building to blow up is for Charlie Fitzer to sleep in it.
Well, this is the second hotel.
Oh, right, but he didn't actually check into the first one.
Well, someone named Charlie Fitzer did, matching his description roughly.
It didn't blow up, it just burned down.
Yeah, fair. Or at least one wing of it did.
Right. With charred remains.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about some charred remains here. Supposedly, Dobrev is dead. They had to rely on dental records to identify him.
Yes. Now, whole bunch of stuff actually happens.
Right.
Two ski masked, likely assassins, propel down from the ceiling, and Charlie goes running down the stairs, almost out the hotel. And then he's like,
Oh, shirt.
Hera, she doesn't have opposable thumbs. She's in my room.
Oh, shirt. Oh, shirt. Oh, shirt. Oh, shirt. Yeah. And he knows that, yes, Hera is hyper competent. Yes, she can take care of herself, but she's trapped. And because Charlie is fundamentally a soft hearted person who really does care about people, even if they don't necessarily deserve it.
But this is his cat.
Right. Whatever misgivings he may have about Hera's motives, whatever concerns about that, this is a cat. This is a creature that can't help itself right now, and he can. And I mean, this is the same thing where we saw him try and protect Dobrev from the assassin.
This is also where the fact that he tried to protect his dead Uncle Jake from being stabbed by Tobias.
These are people who don't necessarily need or deserve his protection.
But the cat does. His cat does.
His cat does. But the point I'm making here, though, is that Charlie is the sort of person who will do this because it is the right thing to do, not necessarily who it is.
That's fair.
And I think that's part of his character, right?
Oh, yeah.
And doubly if it's his cat.
Doubly if it's someone he loves.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd try to save Sokka from a burning building.
Yeah.
The little
Shirt head
would probably be hiding under a piece of furniture.
So when he gets into his room, one of the assassins follows him in and holds him at gunpoint.
Only so that Hera can then rescue Charlie by mauling the guy's head.
Yeah, I mean, she may be a small cat, but she is fierce. And she also, again, while she was officially working for Jake, does not mean that she does not care about Charlie. So the would-be assassin then removes the mask to tend to his face, and who should it be?
Our CIA dude.
Evan Jacobs. We then learn that Jacobs isn't really working for the CIA in this instance, and hasn't been working for the CIA for some time.
He was bribed and bought out, and now he's a murderer for hire.
I mean, he's acquired a very specific set of skills that don't necessarily prepare you for life in the civilian world.
Well, back and forth. And then Jacobs shows that he is an evil
Ashhole.
When our other would-be assassin shows up, Tobias the Stabber. Hi again. Jacobs is like, kill the cat. And Tobias just shoots Jacobs instead. Good riddance. However, he then hands the gun that killed both Jacobs and apparently Dobrev to Charlie, who now has all of his fingerprints all over the gun.
And also conveniently, fingerprints that match this on the old fashioned glass and the beer glass from Dobrev's room.
Yeah. Well, enter Morrison, who once again keeps Charlie from being killed, although Tobias was paid this time to keep Charlie alive.
Probably because someone believes he's a useful patsy and or he has something of value.
I think it was Morrison.
I suspect so. One, I think it was Morrison. Two, I also think it was Dobrev.
Potentially both of them working together. Now, I think it was also so that Charlie could use his handprint to open the door to the vault of antiquities on his island, his uncle's island.
Yep. There is something that he needs to be available for.
Now, it is also very possible that because somehow said vault of antiquities also unlocks to Charlie's hand, that no one actually needs Charlie around to have that open for real.
They just need his hand.
Well, they need his hand. But how did it get programmed in the first place? And then the answer is somehow the cat.
Yes, almost certainly.
No, like it literally is somehow the cat. It's not almost certainly, it really actually is because of Hera. But yes, so there's lots of news stories about Dobrev's death and the hotel blowing up, and yeah. They are back on the island. They have gotten into what is essentially the antechamber of Vault of Antiquities. And it looks like they're going to need an additional 6 members of the convocation to also give a handprint. Now, there happen to be 6 members still technically alive.
That seems incredibly convenient, don't you think?
Yes.
I have my own suspicions and I don't want to talk about them too much because I would rather let you all come to your own conclusions. I've finished the book, so I know what ultimately happens.
I do as well, and I have also as well finished the book. We would really love it if y'all wanted to maybe message us if you haven't finished the book, but you've gotten to where we are. I need entertainment in the next 6 weeks. And so if any of y'all want to talk about books that you love, this book, any of the books we've talked about, anything. If you want to share memes, you want to share fun stories, you want to share fun things that you've made, please do that.
Yeah.
Our Discord is freely available to anyone with a link, and there is a link in the description.
So yeah, I think this is a fun chapter.
Same. This is so much action, and we didn't do it any justice. Y'all should read it.
I think that's probably the best use of your time here. In the meantime, let's talk about notable quotables. It's your turn this week. What'd you pick?
All right. So there were a lot. Just let me pull some of the ones I really liked the most. Your uncle didn't trust me either. We were friends. I do appreciate that. Also, just damn cat. Because that does get said a lot. Dobrev smiled, took a sip of his old-fashioned. How is it? I asked. It's all right, he said, then shrugged. Not great, but okay. Maybe hire someone else for cocktails if you ever get that pub. There was one that I just had seen. Ah, yes. The one that I actually would choose as like my favorite from here really is, did you train that cat to attack people? Jacobs asked. No, she's just a good judge of character.
Well, I mean, Charlie didn't train Hera to attack people.
But I'm pretty sure that she is a trained assassin.
Oh, yes. And I think she is also a pretty good judge of character. I mean, generally speaking, I think most cats are. Like, not so much that only people that cats like are good people, but like cats can be arbitrarily finicky about things.
Right, we do have friends who are good people that are cat. Because they want to have him love them, he's just like, eh.
Yeah, if a cat doesn't like you, don't take it personally.
However, if a cat does like you,
Oh, worth its weight in gold.
yes, I think that's why it's so sought after by our friends.
Oh, yes.
Sokka's love is finicky.
But once it is obtained, it is undying. Like, Sokka puts up with so much from us. As much as he hates it when either one of us try and clip his nails, mostly you, or, how he doesn't like it when we pick him up, he still keeps coming back to us.
That is true. He doesn't hide.
Yeah,
He's not aloof.
no.
He is a lap cat, which is going to be a challenge. Abdominal surgery plus 20-pound lap cat. Retroactively, wish me luck, guys.
Good luck. Well, with that, it's time to talk about what we learned this week. It's my turn this time. So I think the thing that I'm going to talk about is learning a new tabletop RPG system.
Yay!
I think it's fair to say that most of us here are familiar to some degree or another with Dungeons and Dragons. And, that's fine. It's good for what it is, but it's far from the only one out there. And it may not be the one that actually scratches the itch that your tabletop group has or serves the needs of the story that your group is trying to tell. And to that end, I'd say it's worth going out and exploring other systems. Recently, our group has started learning Daggerheart, and so far that's been a lot of fun. If you're not familiar, Daggerheart is the new game that just came out from Darrington Press, which is the publishing arm of the Critical Role team. It's definitely a lot more narrative focused than D&D. If what you're looking for is a crunch wrap supreme, this is not going to be that. It's not super crunchy.
No.
If that's what you're looking for, you're probably better off going for a Pathfinder or something like that. But if what you're looking for is more focused on mood and narrative and something where the rules are really just light abstractions that can be used to describe any number of creative scenarios that your players might end up in.
If the thing that you're looking for is the mechanics to serve the story, this definitely scratches that itch.
I really also enjoy the way it uses the duality dice, which are what are used for most checks, as a way to add a little bit of extra flavor to the usual pass fail style that you see with most games, or with most D20 based games, more accurately. So instead of rolling just one die, you roll two D12s, and one of those is designated hope, the other is designated fear. So, in addition to the combined total, you're looking at which one of those is higher, and that has extra effects.
Hope is an advantage for the player, and fear is an advantage for the GM.
Both of these generate resources for those respective groups, and they allow you to do special moves on your own or also with the rest of your party. It really just encourages you to think creatively about what it is exactly you're trying to accomplish in any given moment. One of the things that I've noticed is that rather than giving you an assumed setting, it just basically gives you a bunch of vibes and mood board things that you can kind of look at and think about and build your own setting. So it's much less prescriptive in that regard than something like D&D would be, because it doesn't tie you into world specific classes or spells or organizations. It just gives you sketches for the types of things that might be out there, and then really lets you as the player and GM work together to come up for what that might look like in this world.
And a lot of the times while we're playing, we come up with it on the spot. Like we kind of add to the world as we're going rather than it being all completely set. Now, that might be a thing that our GM's style is encouraging, but we also role play first and then roll to see if what we want to have happen is what does happen.
Yeah, I think this is a system that rewards narrative improvisation because it makes it really easy to figure out how you would make this sort of thing happen, how you would determine if it's successful or not. And yeah, we're having a great time with it. So yeah, I'd say check it out. I think there's a PDF you can download off of the Darrington Press website.
Also, you can just check out the how to play videos from Critical Role.
And I mean, frankly, here's the great thing. Like, just the free PDF how to play and character sheet stuff is stuff that you can basically absorb and have everything that you need to create a character and get playing without having to read through the entire book.
Yeah, this one is a pretty quick to start. Now, I think you did it again, where instead of necessarily say something that you learned about, you recommended a thing for people to check out.
I learned a thing.
How to play Daggerheart.
Yep.
Okay. But I was going to say I'll give you a pass because this was fun and worth it.
Good. So you have the thing of the week. What did you choose?
What do you think I chose?
I wrote down probably blueprints.
Absolutely blueprints. Okay, so I've been wanting to talk about this, and it's not been my turn to recommend something. So, there is a game that I wish I had known about when it came out last April, but now I know about it because I watched what was it, a PlayStation Access listicle about games that really start after the credits roll. And to say too much is to say too much about this game. But what I'll say is if you were ever a fan of Myst or Riven, this is like Myst and Riven on all the steroids ever. Like, as I keep playing it, and I have been playing it for like 3 weeks now, as I keep playing it, and it like the time on the how long have you been playing this is like 4 days now, it just keeps getting bigger. The ostensible goal that you are presented with is not the actual goal of the game. It is not the central mystery. It is not anything other than just like the bare minimum MacGuffin. You have to get to room 46 in this mansion that only has 45 rooms. But as you go along, you uncover mystery after mystery and puzzle after puzzle. And things that you think are like, this has to be one of the larger puzzles, larger things in this, turn out to be small peanuts. Like, getting to room 46 is not the goal. Getting to room 46 furthers the goal. And then you find out that there is a whole world outside of the house of stuff that you have to figure out. There are clues inside the house for everything. And I have a number of different avenues to go down. And the great thing is, so if you like roguelikes, this is a roguelike puzzle game because you just start back at the beginning, but you have certain advantages. And some of it is like translate made up language. Some of it is notice all the pictures in all of the rooms. Some of it is like, I don't know, the remembering how to play chess. I like there are so many different things. And then within that, there's also like math puzzles and logic puzzles and word puzzles and things like some of them are puns, some of them are visual puns that make you just want to smack your head. Some of them are just like, if only I can get the RNG to do the thing I want to do, which is to put the hot thing next to the cold thing while also having power for it. Like, hopefully that was vague enough because seriously, you do not want to look up any of this. You really don't want to look up any of it. And it's hard to talk about past the one major goal of the game, which is supposedly to get to room 46.
I think the one thing that is worth pointing out is the idea is that you start with a blank floor plan each day, and each room is just drawn from a deck, basically. So you will have a different floor layout each day, filled with passages and dead ends and
which way you can actually get out of the room. Sometimes you wind up with a circle. Sometimes you wind up being able to go north a lot and then not be able to get to the goal. The thing about it is that the frustration is frustrating in a specific way that is motivating to keep going.
yeah. It's also fair to say that this is a game worth pulling out a physical notebook with.
I have one, and my phone is full of photos of my TV because I am trying to figure out all of these different puzzles and hold them all in my head.
Yeah, it's worth combining everything into some place that you can all get to. You're probably not going to be able to remember everything, so take notes.
I have friends who are playing this with their spouses who are like, it's how we go to bed. Like, we do this before bed and we work together and try to figure it all out. And like, they've got more hours in it than I have. And then I have one friend who's playing it that she just keeps saying, I hate this, but I keep going back and playing it, but I hate the game. And I'm like, I have surpassed where you are.
But at any rate, it's available on pretty much every major gaming platform right now.
I don't think it's available on Switch yet. I hope it will be because it would be the perfect game for Switch. But we have it on Game Pass, and I'm so tempted to just actually spend the money on it. But it's finally like justifying our Game Pass.
So yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Thank you.
Well, with that, I'd like to thank you for potting with me.
Thank you for potting with me.
And thanks for listening to Tales from the Waystone. Join us next time as we continue the summer reading program with chapters 21 through 24 of Starter Villain.
We would like to thank our friend Shawnee Jang for our theme music.
And many thanks to John Scalzi for creating this universe that we're enjoying exploring.
Audio production and editing courtesy of me, Phoenix McCullough.
And writing and project management courtesy of me, Will McCullough.
If you would like to help support us and have the means to do so, please consider becoming a patron on our Patreon page, patreon.com/waystonepod, or just join us on our Discord. It's absolutely free, and we just really like to talk to people and share memes. Well, with that, here's to one more day above the roses.
To one more day above the roses.
Ding!
So, excuse me.
Please defrog your throat.
Frog is dethroned. Throat is defrogged.
Frog is dethroated. That is very violent.
It really is. It's like a Mortal Kombat scenario.
Fatality.
Yeah.